Oh shit, here we go again. So yesterday, people have been pretty crazy in relation to a tweet coming from Marvel Entertainment, in which many fans are jumping into conclusion in that we are going to get Spider-Man 4 in some way, shape or form, whether it's going to be through a comic book, an animated movie, or maybe even live action. And if you're believing in the latter, then what are you even thinking? And like I said, this comes courtesy of this tweet from Marvel Entertainment, which does showcase some cobwebs that form into the number 4, with the hashtag Marvel Comics, and people are assuming that this is going to be some incarnation of Spider-Man 4. And originally I wasn't going to make this video and talk about this, but since everyone is reporting on the same thing and assuming that this is in fact Spider-Man 4, I feel like I do have to be the bearer of bad news. Because the truth of the matter is that this is just wishful thinking and everyone is grasping on the thinnest of straws in order to get some dose of Spider-Man 4. We're not going to get it in live action, at least in our lifetime. We're not going to get it in animation, at least not within the next 5 years at minimum. And it's pretty unlikely that we're even going to get it in comic form either. First and foremost, if you notice about anything about the font in relation to the 4, any diehard comic book fan would instantly point out that this is pretty reminiscent of the classic Fantastic Four logo. And since Marvel Comics have been really pushing the Fantastic Four as of late, as well as the fact that they are very successful at the moment, chances are it is going to be a Spider-Man Fantastic Four crossover for the comics. Not to mention that there is a clear reason on as to why we have never seen any of the live action Spider-Men that Sony own during any real crossovers in general. And the main gist of it is that they would have to go through so many legal stuff just so that they can borrow even one of the live action Spider-Men. And while I may not be the biggest expert in terms of this stuff, but even I know that it does take a lot to even pull that off. And must I really remind you all on why it took them forever to even include the Raimi suit for Spider-Man PS4? And the amount of legal stuff that they had to go through in order to get the rights to use this suit for the video game? Now granted, this isn't exactly impossible to do, but realistically it would be a huge nightmare for Marvel to go over to Sony and sort this whole thing out just for a comic series in relation to Spider-Man 4 or whatever continuation of the Sam Raimi series. And if I am to be proven wrong, then I will gladly eat my words, but let's be realistic here, it probably isn't even the case. And like I said earlier, at this point it just feels like a bunch of fans grasping on the thinnest of straws in order to gain their dose of Spider-Man 4, whatever form it may be. And I have noticed that about a year ago it does seem like everyone is beyond desperate for Spider-Man 4, and let's be realistic here, if it was anything to do with the Sam Raimi series, then chances are Sony would have teased it alongside Marvel, but since that isn't the case, the best way I can say this without being too harsh is don't keep your hopes up. So what do you think of that teaser tweet coming from Marvel Entertainment? Do you really believe that we are going to get Spider-Man 4 in some way, shape or form, or do you think that this is something completely different in relation to Marvel Comics? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Take care and have a good one.